Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gabe with Jonathan Fan TV back at you another video. At the content of this video, go smash that like button at the content of this channel. Go and subscribe, man. Look, so Ravens training camp day 3, right? They said today we'll practice a little bit slower, a little less eventful, but still got some things to talk about, some things to go over. So let's get right into it. All right. So the injury report for today, not practicing, pretty much the same. Okay, so Emory Jones, Darius Washington, Jake Hummel, new addition Keith Kirkwood, wide receiver. He's been with the Ravens for a couple times, couple stints here and there, but he didn't practice. So I think he had forgot what injury what John Harbaugh said he had, but something that limited him at the end of practice, and they kept him out of practice today. Okay, so returning to practice though, DeAndre Hopkins, right? So DeAndre Hopkins was kept out of practice yesterday, completely precautionary, right? They said that he kind of fell on his knee, leg area, in the practice 2 days ago. So they just played it safe with him. He's back, so that's good. That's good to hear right there to see DeAndre Hopkins is back at Ravens practice. Okay. Now, get into the offense of it all. Okay. Lamar Jackson, 17 for 24 today, right? 10 for 15, 11 on 11s, 7 for 9, and 7 on 7, right? That comes from Jordan Schaefer. He does a really good job of, keeping kind of like these unofficial, tallies of what Lamar Jackson is doing out there, how he's doing the football, right? So another pretty good day. He said that there was a lot of checkdowns today. So, the defense is holding up tight, down the field, good coverage, no coverage busts, right? Which we know was a major problem for what the Ravens had going on last season, right? So if this defense can hold together the communication, it obviously should be a better unit, and it obviously is a better unit when it comes to talent, right? So we know that as well. But if you're not on the same page, the talent is not going to matter. But Lamar Jackson's still going to he's still going to do his thing. So he didn't overall. He didn't struggle today by any means, but the defense kept everything in front of him. All right. Now talking about that defense, right? Justin Rebeck said that Nate Wiggins was the stand-up performer in practice today. Okay, a couple of pass breakups on Rashad Bateman. And he's having fun with it too, right? We know Nate Wiggins has his own celebration. Apparently, him and Jair Alexander, they came together and celebrated together. So when you have Nate Wiggins on one side, Jair Alexander on the other side, you're getting corners that are going to talk a lot of trash, that are going to be physical, no matter what you think about how big and strong they are. They're going to be physical, and they're going to let you know about if they made a play on you. They're going to let you know about it, right? And just looking at and thinking about Jair Alexander and his swagger, his confidence, his vibe, it reminds me of what the Ravens had in Marcus Peters, right? And the Ravens really haven't had that kind of cocky defensive back, right, since Marcus Peters left, right? We saw a little bit from Nate Wiggins, right? He's very, very confident in his abilities. He had, like I said, he has celebrations and all that. But I think Jair is going to bring that out of him to another level, right? That confidence, that energy that you think of when you think of a stereotypical DB, Jair Alexander is all of that, okay? And Nate Wiggins definitely has some of that, like I said, so I think we'll see even more of that, all right? But Nate Wiggins also, he blew up a wide receiver screen, so he's not just making plays, just, straight up coming his man, one-on-one, locking up, but he's also play recognition, right? If you can recognize the screen, blow it up as a corner, you're recognizing what's going on in front of you, your head's on the swivel, you're watching off of what's going on, right? So to me, that's great updates right there. I love to hear that. All right. And then it was also mentioned that Odafe Owe had a couple of nice plays, right? I don't know if they were both on Ronnie Stanley because the tweet is worded a little weirdly, but Ronnie Stanley was definitely involved in one of them, right? So Odafe Owe showed a nice power rush on Ronnie Stanley, right? And then I think another one he said he hit him one hit somebody with a nice chop move. It could have been a Ronnie Stanley or just somebody else going around the corner, right? I mentioned this before. It might have been day 1 or day 2. This is contract season Odafe Owe, right? I think Odafe Owe was really, really good last year. I think a lot of Ravens fans are very, very hard on Odafe Owe for whatever reason. Maybe they don't feel like he's reached the heights that he should have reached so far. He has missed a lot of sacks. We know that. I've talked about that frustration with that in the Odafe Owe, right? But I don't think you can deny that he's a good player. All right, I don't think you could deny that. Could you want more from him? Of course. Could you want to finish more plays? Of course. But this is a good football player. All right. Odafe Owe, like I said previously, he's going to show why he's going to get paid, right? Whether it's by the Ravens or somebody else, right? He's going to get paid. Okay. If George Karlaftis, right? No offense to George Karlaftis, is a good player, right? If he can make 4 years, $93 million from the Chiefs, right? Or you can't tell me Odafe Owe is far off from that, right? You know what I mean? Like I said, there's no offense to George Karlaftis. I think he's a very, very good player. But Odafe Owe can't be too far off from that, right? So He's going to have a good season. He's going to get paid. That's just how I expect it to go. Hopefully it's by the Ravens, right? I would love the Ravens to be able to keep as much talent on this team as possible, but the salary cap is a real thing, so that may not be possible. We know that, okay? And then lastly, right, gotta mention it, man, this kicking competition, right? Tyler Luke. Now, Tyler Luke did not kick yesterday. He kicked today. I did not see anything about John Horley kicking today. So maybe instead of them they'll have days where they alternate who's going to kick, who's not going to kick. And I'm sure that they'll have days where they go up head to head against each other. I'm sure those days will happen, right? But today, Tyler Luke out there, right, as the main Ravens kicker, he went 10 for 10, okay, including a 63-yard bomb of a field goal, okay, they said that he had yards to spare on that 63-yarder, right? So if we think about Justin Tucker, right, Justin Tucker's career long, I believe, was 65, 66, something like that. I know in Detroit, right? So you got Tyler Luke, who's making 63-yarders with room to spare, right? With more leg to give, right? So that's what we want to hear, right? 10 for 10. I don't think Tyler Luke has missed a kick yet in training camp, right? John Horley had a day one when he went 4 for 5. Then he came back and was solid. Not even solid, was 100% the next day. Tyler Luke, day one, he was 100%. Day two, he's 100%, right? So if you're a kicker, that's what you want, obviously, right? No, it doesn't need to get any more broken down than that, all right? So for the Ravens, I hope they found a star kicker in Tyler Luke. I do, right? I mean, last season, the demise, the fall of Justin Tucker, however you want to say the fall off, but he lost games for the Ravens last year, right? There's no other way to say it. He lost games for the Ravens last year, okay? And the Ravens need to have a kicker that they can depend on to be in tough games, tough situations, and win ball games for them, right? When you come down to a football game and you see your team with the game in the balance, you don't want to feel as though it's because your kicker missed the field goal and missed several field goals. That's why you lost the game, right? Most teams would rather have it go a different way than that. Okay, so Tyler Luke, it's a very, very high pressure job. It's a job that if you miss, everybody hates you. If you make it, people love you, but that's what they expect you to do anyway, is make the kicks, right? So, Tyler Luke, man, he can take advantage. I mean, the Ravens fans, before everything happened, Justin Tucker was a beloved figure. He was a star of the team, right? That also had a lot to do because Ravens' offense for many years was very bad, right? But that's beside the point, right? So for Tyler Luke, I'm glad to hear it, right? 10 for 10 on the day, 63-yarder. That's beautiful. That's what we want. That's what we need. So that's the Ravens training camp report for day 3. Excuse me. Not like I said, not a lot happened today, right? Lamar Jackson sharp as usual, right? But defense once again, really really good day. Nate Wiggins going to take that jump from just a good corner to a superstar level corner. I see that happening for him. Jair Alexander is going to talk that trash, bring that juice, as he said he's going to bring it every single day, and we're seeing it every single day, right? And Odafe Oweh, it's going to get paid, man. I just see that happening for him, right? So those are my final thoughts, man. Give me your thoughts in the comments, man. It's Gabriel, another Fan TV. I'm out.